highlighting program is the foundation of many of the other strategies that we teach in the Strategies for Study Success series. There are 3 books in the highlighting series: Highlighting 1, Highlighting 2, and Highlighting 3. For these books, the students will need a blue highlighter, a green highlighter, and a yellow highlighter. Let's start with Highlighting 1. We start by teaching students that when we read, there are 3 elements that we look for. The first one is the topic, which is 1, 2, or 3 words describing what the passage is about. For example, some topics might include the beach, bluebirds, or World War I. Whenever we identify a topic, we always highlight it in blue. The second element that we look for is the main idea, which is what the author is saying about the topic. Let's say, for instance, the topic is trees, which we highlight in blue. The main idea might be growing trees is an easy process. Or if the topic is World War I, main idea might be there were many causes for World War I. We always highlight the main idea in green. The third element that we look for are the important details, which is important information describing the main idea. We always highlight important details in yellow. And there are 2 things to keep in mind when we highlight the important details. One is that we want to try to only highlight words and phrases whenever possible. And the second piece is try to only highlight what's very important and not every detail on the page, as many students unfortunately often do. Let's take a look inside the book. When we open up to the first part of Highlighting 1, we notice here on page 2 that we start by introducing the concepts of topic, main idea, and important details. Again, as I mentioned earlier, we teach that the topic is 1, 2, or 3 words which describes what the passage is about. For example, the beach, bluebirds, or ice cream flavors are all samples of topics. Then we have students come up with some of their own ideas for topics. Here a student came up with the ideas of cars, snack items, names of girls, and colors. Then the student went and highlighted those topics in blue. Then we introduced the second concept that we look for when we read, which is the main idea. Again, the main idea is what the author is saying about the topic. For instance, if the topic is fruit, main idea might be there are many different types of fruit. Here, the student is given some topics, and then we have the student come up with some of their own main ideas and go back and highlight the topics in blue and main ideas in green. Finally, we introduce important details, which we highlight in yellow. Again, important details are significant pieces of information which describe the main idea. Here on the next page, which is page 4, students are given some topics, and they're asked to fill out this chart by coming up with some of their own main ideas and important details, and then going back and highlighting the topics in blue, main ideas in green, and important details in yellow, to get a feel for the highlighting and how they're supposed to use it. Now it's time to actually apply that background knowledge onto some passages. What's unique about this program is that rather than starting at the text level, we actually start at the pictorial level, which helps students gain a true understanding of what is topic, what is main idea, and what are important details. Let's look at the first exercise together. I'm going to read the directions for exercise 1.1. It says, look at the following picture, then answer the questions below. Highlight the topic, question 1, in blue, the main idea, question 2, in green, and the important details, question 3, in yellow. Let's look at the picture, and then we move down to question 1. What is the topic of this picture? Is it A, mailbox, B, doorknob, or C, schoolhouse? In this case, we know that the topic is mailbox, so the student should actually take out his or her blue highlighter and highlight the word mailbox in blue. Then we move on to the second question. What is the main idea of the picture? Is it A, there is mail in the mailbox, B, the mail is on the ground, or C, the door is closed? In this case, we know that the main idea is there is mail in the mailbox. Therefore, the student would highlight choice A in green. Now the third question asks, what are some important details describing the topic? For question 3, keep in mind that there can be 1, 2, or all 3 answers as correct choices. In this case, our options are A, the flag is up, B, the mailbox door is closed, or C, there is grass on the ground. In this case, we would highlight both A and C in yellow, since those are both important details. Also keep in mind that if the student has difficulty reading, it's okay for the teacher to read these questions out loud and do these exercises in an oral format. This allows us to introduce this book at a relatively young level and help even young students understand these relatively sophisticated concepts. Let's do one more example together. Let's move to the next exercise, which is exercise 1.2. The directions say, look at the following picture, then answer the questions below using your highlighters. So let's take a look at the picture, and then we ask question 1, what is the topic of this picture? In this case, we have choices A, candy, B, old woman, or C, telephone. Here we know that the topic is old woman. So using his or her blue highlighter, the student will highlight old woman. Question 2 asks, what is the main idea of the picture? A, the sun is shining, B, the store is on Clark Street, or C, there is an old woman holding a handkerchief. Here we know that the main idea is choice C. So the student would take out the green highlighter and highlight choice C, as the student did here. And finally, question 3 asks, what are some important details describing the topic? Remember that we can have 1, 2, or all 3 correct answers. A, the woman is wearing a hat, B, the woman is wearing glasses, or C, the woman is sitting on a chair. In this case, choices A and B are both correct. So the student would highlight A and B with the yellow highlighter, since those are both important details. If we look through the rest of the book, we'll notice that every exercise in this book is at the pictorial level. Again, this helps students gain an understanding of what is topic, main idea, important details. Students also tend to enjoy looking at these pictures and practicing the skill. And it also helps to set the stage for highlighting 2, where we introduce passages with basic text.